Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Thursday. This is Devils After Dark, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios inside the bunker, undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey. And we got Beer Baron with the greatest Mountain View.
Extensive notes. Notes I took during the game.
Really?
Yeah. See this?
Wow. Since when did you start taking notes?
Well, I knew the you know what I have to do. I have big shoes to fill because I know Scotty was going to be here. I know you're going to do the recap real quick, but listen, man, I got some talking points. All right, this is thick. It's thick.
So Nikki did the notes today?
Yeah, she was my stenographer. There's a lot of why the F is this team. I'm making sure that I'm taking out the language. Why the F is this team even trying? Oh wait, they're not. Is the coach even on the bench right now? There's a lot of things in my notes that I will be getting into. But go on, my friend, go on.
All right, well, let's just do the unfriendly game recap. Devils Penguins coming into this game. Devils trying to respond, I guess, but you know what? but the Penguins respond first with the Erik Karlsson goal in the first period, making 1-0 Pens with 6:39 into the game. That's when it was an LOL moment.
It's getting thick.
And then it ended up to be 1-0 at the end of the first period, going into the first intermission. Bryce and Rachel, they're talking, and you're like, okay, they're serious. You know, they need to get that second goal. So the first goal, they can't let them score that second goal because they did avoid that. But no, the Penguins scored with 5:23 in the second period to make it 2-0 Pens. And you know what? And then the Malkin power play goal to end the second period.
Because why not?
Yeah.
Because why not?
There was a 5-on-3, and they had 1:38 seconds. Of course, it's got to be a Malkin power play goal coming back from injury, assisted by Crosby and Karlsson. Surprise, surprise.
Because, not to interject, Sam, because that's what their guys do when they come off of injury. You know, like a premier player comes off of injury after a 17-game absence or whatever it was, and what does he do is he scores against us.
Yeah.
Now, I'm surprised they didn't have a kid that is his first NHL game, comes in, pots his first NHL goal too. But go on. It's going to be a lot of this.
Yeah.
A lot of this. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, anyway, so it's 3-0 Pens going into the second intermission. Surprise, surprise. But the Devils get a power play. Start of the third period. And Luke Hughes scores with a power play goal, assisted by Hamilton and his brother Jack. No football call because it's a loss, so for those that are wondering. And, hey, you know what? This is what the Devils... I don't know why they don't do more one-timers, Beer Baron, to be honest with you. But, you know, it's Devils making it interesting for like a split second. 3-1 Penguins at that point. The Penguins tightened it up, but again, they score the fourth goal at 13:26. And that's the score. 4-1 Pens. Each team had 29 shots, block shots. Devils had 19. Penguins had 16 hits. Devils had 25. Penguins 10. But you know what? The Penguins really didn't have to do much tonight. Devils even had the edge on faceoffs. Power play, Devils were 1 for 2. Penguins were 1 for 3. Again, that's the recap. I see everybody filing in. I mean, all of our social media pages, YouTube Live, at Let's Go Devils. Please subscribe. Also, Facebook. I'm seeing Instagram. I'm seeing Twitch. People joining in. Please like and follow, and also on X at Let's Go Devils Pod.
Yeah,
all right, Beer Baron.
So,
this is your moment.
All right. Here's all the notes that I took during this godforsaken game, and that's what they mean. They actually mean absolutely nothing. Pages of notes. I'm sitting there typing while I'm listening to this stupid goddamn game. I'm going to tell you what's actually happening, okay? This team is in full collapse mode. It's like a dying star, and you can see it happening. The nebulous is just collapsing in on itself. And let me tell you what, watching this team, after the second goal, they go on a power play and they let up that second goal, and I rage quit this team. I must have rage quit this team in the last month and a half, since December 1st. I must have rage quit this team more than a dozen times. It gets to a point where I'm like, I wasn't going to come on here tonight, and I wasn't going to scream and yell and curse and throw things around because my blood pressure can't take it. I'm just so tired. I'm tired of being let down. I'm tired of going into the car dealership and they're promising me a Ferrari, and I walk out of there with a 1989 Hyundai Excel stick shift 4-cylinder. I know that sucks because I had one. So I'm going to tell you what. This team it's so infuriating. It's so goddamn infuriating. If you watch the product on the ice, they come out in this game and there's push, and you hear everybody on the broadcast. You hear Don talking about it. You hear Dano talking about it. You hear Bryce talking about it. Oh, there's that push. Okay, all right, they're doing everything the right way. And then at one point, Danico even said, "But you're tired of hearing it. You're tired of hearing the same goddamn story. You're tired of hearing the same thing. Oh, they're doing the right things. They're making the right push, but they're not scoring a goal. They're not doing the one thing that can win you the game, is score a goal. They're not doing the things that they need to do to put themselves in position to score a goal." How many high danger chances did they have tonight? Did you write that down? Did you get that in the rundown as I was mentally preparing myself for the onslaught that I was going to have to put onto this?
I honestly, I didn't think there was a point to it.
Maybe when Scotty gets on, maybe he could tell us that the Devils probably had one high danger chance. You know, what pisses me off about this team too is it's not a lack of talent. I'm tired of the excuses. I'm tired of, well, Jack was hurt for so long, because I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of just like every single Devils fan out there. And if you don't do this, you're full of it. You're like, in the beginning of the season, that 8-game heater. Boom, boys, this is it. This is it. This is the season that we are going to put a stamp on this league, and we're going to show them what we're actually made of. This is the year that the Devils are going to show everybody that they're not just this clown organization, that they're going to actually do things right, that guys are going to stay healthy. Jack is going to play a full 82. He's going to put up over 100 points. He's going to put up $120. Jesper Bratt's going to be this king of Newark. He's going to be walking around with the Brat Pack, and they're going to be having a great time. Shout out to the Brat Pack. This was going to be the year. And then all of a sudden, Brett Pesce gets hurt. And okay, all right. We'll find a way through this. It will be fine. And all credit to White, who's stepped in and played pretty decent hockey. I mean, the guy has taken this opportunity and really shown out. And that's what I love to see. You love to see a guy take this opportunity and show out, because you know who hasn't shown out? Is goddamn Andre goddamn Palat, who has had every opportunity to right his ship, to make his name better. When Jack goes down, who were we looking to make sure that they could fill in that void of the lack of offense or energy that this team is desperately needing? One, Mr. Andre Palat. And you know what? Okay. Maybe that's too much pressure. Maybe he's too old. Maybe he's not ready for this.
I think he has tenure. He has tenure. No, that's what he has. You know, he's a tenured player.
No, he doesn't have tenure. He has dementia out on the ice. He's forgetting that he's a hockey player half the time. The guy doesn't show up shift after shift after shift. And even when Jack is in there, I've seen Jack set him up on beautiful, just on a silver platter. Like, there you go. Here's a free goal for you. Nope, can't score. But don't worry, because the rest of the team can't score. In the last 3 games, we've been outscored 16-2. 16. I understand that 9 of that happened in one game, which is this anomaly that hasn't happened since 1984 when the Devils got blanked by the Rangers 9-0. 16-2. You know, that game the other night, I went to turn it on, and I look at my phone. I was like, I'm a little late to the party. The Islanders game I'm speaking about. A little late to the party. I had things going on. Like most of us do. We get caught up. Sometimes I'm like, I'll catch it on my phone. I'll catch it on the TV. I'll listen on the radio. I'll do whatever I have to do. And 5 minutes into the game, I'm like, I'm going to turn on the game. I'll sit back and watch. And they're already down 2-0. You know what I said to myself? Not doing it tonight. Not doing it. And you know what happened? Is I go along my business. I do my, I'm doing my thing. And I'm getting ready to go to bed. And I look and it's 5-0. And I go, you gotta be goddamn kidding. Can't get much worse than this. Can't get much worse than this. I looked at my phone, I looked at the update, and I go, 5-0. I'm like, are you kidding me? We're making the Islanders look like they're vintage, early 80s Islanders?
Yeah.
Right? Like they got Bossy out there? All right, whatever. Go to sleep. It can't get that much worse. Wake up 9-0. 9-0 was a steel toe boot to the sack right there. That was such an embarrassment.
Steel toe,
Such an embarrassment. Steel toe. You got to go to the doctor and get the one nut put back because it's up there. It's lodged.
Like a brunt footwear, like a brunt boot.
Red Wing. A Red Wing.
Red Wing. Okay. All right.
Oh, by the way, shout out to Patty Kane who scored his 500th goal tonight. Like I care. So we have.
Well, I want to tell everybody. I know that you may be pissed that I'm going to tell people this, but when it was 2-0 Devils tonight, and you said you turned the TV off, I'm like, I was like, you've got to watch. You're filling in for Scotty. Stop it. I can't suffer. I can't suffer through this without you.
Dude, and I know. Listen, thank you to everybody that's listening to us out there on YouTube, out there on Facebook, on all of the different platforms that we have.
Instagram.
I know Scotty's normally here, like doing the full recap of the game and giving you the play-by-play, and here I am just lamenting like a schmuck, like the rest of us. If I don't sound like the rest of us right now, if I don't sound like you as a fan right now, then you might be mentally disturbed. You might be sitting in a corner rocking, just laughing to yourself in a padded room, and they let you listen to the game just to drive you deeper into insanity to see how deep you can go to like some CIA experiment.
Yeah.
This team has broken me. This team is, I'm superstitious, just like every other fan, right? And I'm sorry, Sam, but I'm like totally hijacking Devils After Dark.
Yeah,
and making it.
I do want to get to the comments, though. There are a lot of comments.
We will.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the comments.
Yep.
But and here's a question for everybody out there: have you tried to change your weird superstitions? Right? I change my hat. I'll wear a hat. Like if they win a game, I'm like, all right, I'm wearing this hat until they lose. Well, goddamn, I've been changing my hat every other day. It feels like.
You know what I did today? You know what I did today?
Go ahead.
I ate a salad. I figured maybe that would change up the mojo. Well, I know, no, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I know. And Max brings up a point. Brat scores breakaway only in shootouts, which is super confusing. That is confusing. Like he had that. He had the cleanest breakaway. It's like the Penguins went to the bench and sat down. And they didn't do anything. And they're like, just let Jesper go. Because he's not gonna score. Because he's not gonna score.
And I feel the same way with Markstrom. Why don't you just pull him? I think the empty net is doing much better than he is.
Oh my Lord of mercy. Let's get Petey DeBoer. Baron, what am I drinking today? Unfortunately, I'm drinking nothing right now. Because if I had a drink right now, I'd probably go jump into a frozen river. This team is so frustrating. So looking at a lot of the comments that we have here, as you were saying.
Facebook is humming right now. X, I see Instagram. Instagram's new with us, and there are people commenting.
Well, if you want to pull a few,
let me start
on this game.
Yeah, go
ahead.
Yeah, you check the YouTube live because it's absolutely crazy. Instagram, see Grand Brian. Jack had a healthy amount of giveaways tonight. good to see he's back. And he said that Palat actually hustled tonight. You're right, Palat is that. And then he responds later, Palat is that as worthless as a bag of belly button lint. That is Brian. And then I'm going to Facebook Live at Let's Go Devils Podcast. Morgan Williams says, fire Fitz. Kyle says, at least they lost by 3 goals instead of 9. Got to start somewhere.
That's a good point.
Justin says, what a response. Not. Nico talk a lot of crap about a response game. He doesn't deserve to be a captain. Ouch.
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to go in that direction.
Yeah, but Joe says
you know what, though? Yep. Oh, go ahead.
Joe says, preach on, brother. And Christopher in the YouTube Live says that this team is so easy to defend. Just skate around the perimeter, and then eventually they'll lose the puck and force a pass. That in the Facebook Live. Go ahead, Beer Baron, because we're going to get to the YouTube Live next.
No, yeah. So right now the YouTube Live guys are going crazy. And first of all, I know Mark Schwab is saying, hey, Beer Baron, where have you been? I've been busy. I've been very busy. I was in I take some time away from the podcast, not intentionally. I have my job and family and things like that I take care of. But I'll tell you what, I've been chomping at the bit to get back on here, to talk to you guys, to talk to Sammy, to talk to Scotty, just to kind of be able to get all of this out. I'm surprised, too. I'm surprised it's not like the movie Alien where all the thoughts in my brain have just morphed into my chest and shot out at the screen right now. Fitzy needs to Fitzy, I'm trying to read some of these. Fitzy needs the smack layeth down. Yes. If only the Rock could come in and just lay down the smack. So here's the thing, and you and I talked about this on the phone, and we're going to get back to the comments from everybody right now.
Yeah, because I'm looking at X is blowing up as well. So
yeah, no more passes for Nico. He's not a captain. Done with him. What did he do tonight? Nothing. Wow, Tom, those are some deep, deep words, man. I don't think this rests on Nico's shoulders. I don't think you know what, Nico is one of the few guys that I'm going to give a pass to. Jack, definitely not 100% healthy either. If you don't believe that, you can go to that interview he had on Good Morning America like 2 weeks ago when he still has clearly still has something on his hand, like a cast or something like that.
Sometimes I'm going to rip on Jack. Sometimes I'm wondering what his true intentions being back. Are you just conditioning for the Olympics, or are you really trying 100%. To help us to win? I hate to ask that question because it does it question him, but it's just the way he's playing. That's why I asked that. Go ahead.
Well, Eric just said what we need is a big enforcer and a mood changer. I would say yes, except for the fact that we don't need another hole in the fourth line. Once again, the fourth line, like Glenn Denning, it was a great experiment in the beginning of the year. Done. 0 points and 0. And in how many games? 0 goals. We got Paul Cotter, who just magically forgot how to play hockey too. Last year was doing pretty well. This year can't seem to figure it out. You have guys. It's like that bottom 6 of our lineup. Once again, is this void, is an absolute black hole. It's so frustrating to watch this game. And I'm going to tell you what, as a fan, I don't know if you guys feel the same. You could say if you do or don't. As a fan, when you're watching a game, there's so little passion that's happening on the ice. As a fan, I actually feel the same way watching it. You're watching it with a casual eye. Do you know what I mean? You're watching it and you're just like, you're like in the past, I'd be on the edge of my seat, leaning forward, watching the game. If I'm at the game, sitting there with a beer, getting loud, yelling stuff, probably getting told not to yell those things in front of children, all that kind of stuff. Put your shirt back on, all that kind of stuff. Now, if I go to a game, even if like I'm with my kids or without my kids, or if I'm like watching a game at home, it's so because this is the effort that's being shown to me is this like meh. Okay. We had a good pushback. We took 44 goddamn shots in a 9-0 blowout.
I hate this is why I hate analytics. That's why I hate stats.
I just want to punch something.
Because if it doesn't if it doesn't pass the eye test, I don't care what the numbers say. I really don't, because honestly, this is all pathetic. And what's even more pathetic as well is there are a couple players that really care, but I can see their frustration that there's they almost look so helpless. Like they can't just get themselves together and try to break through it. Beer Baron, you and I have talked about it. Your journey through life. Sometimes you go through some bad moments. A lot of it is no fault of your own. But you just got to dig in and figure out a way. This team is so fragile physically, but it almost seems like they're so fragile mentally. And for all that BS talk in the last few years, we got this famous sports psychologist joining the staff. This person's going to be the player development. First off, players aren't developing because Utica is a mess in terms of player development. I mean, they've made some progress in the last 2 months. I don't know, but it's just asinine. Anytime they have a press release, the New Jersey Devils, the last 5 years, I take it with a grain of salt. I believe it when I see it. And that's the point where Devils fans are right now. Believe it when I see it. Because everything has been a bait and switch. Now they're asking for season ticket money. And I'm seeing all the screenshots.
Read the room. How do they never read the room?
I know.
I understand you got to do your job, and you feel bad because some of those people have got to get an earful. Because I guarantee you there's people like my old man who used to be a season ticket holder. By the way, my parents did not renew their season tickets this year because of this. Because of the way this team is. Because it's inconsistency. Because it's like hope. Oh, we're going to be so great. We're going to be great. Oh, my God. This team's going to be a Stanley Cup contender. My ass.
Yeah.
It is like you pump us up. Holy God. Don't piss in my face and tell me it's raining, right? It's just I think it's piss on your feet and tell me you're raining, but piss in my face sounded way more intense. But the point that I'm trying to get to is, as frustrated as the fan base is, right? As frustrated as all of us are, you can say, and the optimist in me will say, the season is not over, right? That this break needs to happen more than anything in the world right now, because once we go through the Olympic break, the team can recalibrate, they can reset. Maybe Fitzgerald can make some moves coming out of the break. Oh yeah, I forgot that everybody freaking nixed every deal that he tried to make. So every guy that he tried to move, apparently, according to which, by the way, we have no idea, because where is our GM? I think he might be dead, because apparently, he doesn't come out and say word one. You get thumped 9-0 on 24 shots. 24 shots. You let up 9 goals. Your goals expected, your goals saved against whatever the hell that stat is, was negative 7.14. That's a stat that's never been achieved. That is a stat that has never been achieved. We're in new territory, baby. We are in uncharted territory with this team.
Well, that's what they're screaming about on X at Chop Nighttime. Fire Fitz, like that. It's. I don't know where go ahead.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but Robert on YouTube Live, when asked about his job security, Keefe responds that the organization can use this opportunity to take great steps to build something for the future. These comments from Keefe are really out there. That is really. He has been saying some things lately that this is something that you and I talked about offline.
What, conspiracy theories? You read between the lines?
I got some conspiracy theory that I've been working on for a while, but I haven't been on the podcast, so I haven't had an opportunity to say it. But
let's compare ideas, conspiracy theory ideas. All right, you go first
because we have no idea we have no idea what's happening, right? Because we can't. The GM isn't going to step behind a microphone and be like, he's basically he's sending his team and his coach out to be slaughtered, and meanwhile and you know what this is okay. I sound like a schizophrenic right now because I keep changing gears. There's a squirrel over here and a squirrel over there as I'm breaking things over here.
Squirrel's pissed.
Fitzgerald. I know. Fitzgerald at one point, we were all I'd say a vast majority of the fans. So I can't speak for everybody because there's people that have different opinions about everything, right? So at one point, when we had Jack locked down for under 9, we had Nico locked down for under 9. We had this core. He went out and he made this trade for Timo Meier. And even though a lot of people might have said, like, wow, he gave up a lot, if you really look at the assets that he gave up, we got Timo Meier for pretty much guys that are okay, right? I mean,
yeah.
Zetterlund is okay. He's not great. He's not, I mean, what is he in? He's in Ottawa now, I believe. So
Ottawa.
Which Ottawa. If you don't know about Ottawa right now, you might want to go look up Ottawa and what's going on in Ottawa.
Ottawa.
Because that Brady Tkachuk dream that I have might be a reality.
Actually, let me stop you. Let me stop you there, okay?
Okay.
So Ottawa had a rumor out, right? And then the team actually had to make a statement about that rumor. Last 24 hours has been tough for Ottawa. And something tells me who leaked the rumor. Was it Fitzgerald trying to try to take the heat off of him right now? Like, you know, it kind of that news story. Like everybody stopped talking how bad the Devils were for like 2 hours when that rumor came out. But anyway,
yeah. And always something, it's ADHD with like schizo. So I have the voices in my head and the voices that are coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, but tell me your conspircy theories. Don't let me interrupt.
Okay,
Go ahead.
So this and keep in mind for everybody out there that's gonna like jump down my throat or call me an idiot. I already know that I'm an idiot, so you don't have to remind me. The conspiracy theory that I have is Fitzgerald was trying to make this move for Quinn Hughes, right?
Yep.
And in the locker room, because the team was still kind of like, I don't know, right before the Hughes thing kind of broke down, the team was still like, you know, ping-ponging back and forth, like wins, losses, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't like horrible. There was still news that Jack was coming back. I mean, if my memory serves me correctly, right? I believe that the rift in the locker room isn't between the coach and the players. I believe that the rift happened in the locker room because guys were looking at it like, oh my God, we are going to be able to get Quinn Hughes. This is going to be great. And you have the guys that are on that side of the fence, right? You have all the guys that were fully behind it. And then you have the guys that either nixed the deal or basically said no, and would not allow something to happen in order to clear up cap space. So now you have this fraction in the locker room where guys are looking at it like, hey, we had an opportunity to improve our team. And yes, it sucks that you have to uproot your family and you have to go somewhere else. But you basically blocked us from improving this team and making us better. So my conspiracy theory is that is what's happening to this room, that there's a real fracture of the players themselves, that the team bond that we saw in the beginning of the year, because if you remember, in the beginning of the year, we were all praising, wow, look at how this team stands up for each other. Look at how well they work together. Look at how well they're playing together. And then all of a sudden, you see a disconnect. Look at the bench when they're playing. Look at the communication on the ice. Look at the way that they, and losing doesn't help, obviously, but there's my conspiracy theory is that Quinn Hughes deal completely shattered the locker room. That's just a conspiracy.
Okay. Well, here's my thing.
Believe what you want to believe about, whatever.
I love Sheldon Keefe. This is why I'm not
Daniel Sprong. Don't bring up Daniel Sprong. Sorry. Go on.
Beer Baron. Focus. So every time Sheldon Keefe speaks, I'm laughing all the time because I'm not, for whatever reason, I'm on Sheldon Keefe's side on all this. Because this nonsense with this New Jersey Devils team, Beer Baron, has been going on for years. And here's a proven winner, at least in the regular season, that's in this mess. You've got a GM that's MIA with the press. So now he has to kind of, every time he speaks, if you read between the lines,
yeah,
he's being a wise ass. He's actually being a wise ass. He's the answers he's giving. You have to. I need some quotes to make my point, but go ahead.
No. First of all, Sprong was the glue. I was just laughing at what Tom wrote on YouTube Live. And John, my friend John, was saying that he agrees. My conspiracy theory might be one of the better conspiracy theories he's heard about why this team is so broken right now. And to be honest with you, like, it's not that much of a stretch, right? And like listen, I know a couple people were saying on the chat, like, you know, you can't blame these guys for blocking a trade. I don't blame them for blocking a trade whatsoever. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, they're horrible dudes because they didn't block a trade. Although I wish, Andre Palat would just stop blocking trades. But at the same time, like, Miles Wood was the glue. Miles of Wood was the glue. Thank you, John. Yeah, we do need Miles. Miles Wood he didn't score a lot and he crashed into the boards, but Miles Wood was so much fun to watch. You know what I mean?
And also when you notice that other players that leave the Devils, like Damon Severson's doing well right now. He's having
he wasn't that horrible. Let's just put it that way. Damon Severson got a lot of flack.
Yeah, but they do much better once they're off the team.
Well, I mean, it's perception. You know, if it's statistically, I would like to look at that and see like how
it is. It is right now if you look at the stats, and then Vitek Vanacek goes out and wins the Stanley Cup. I know it's a backup role, but
yeah. But I mean, I think I could have won a Stanley Cup as a backup on that team. But my point, what I was trying to say though, is like I don't blame these guys for doing that. It's just like I believe that might be the catalyst behind like what's going on in this locker room. It just doesn't make sense that everything was fine. And then that came about. And then and even something that we were talking about too, like Fitzgerald, like a couple years ago, we were looking at all this and we're like, man, he's making great moves. He's, fleecing other teams for like this and that. And it seemed like he was, when guys were giving out these like crazy contracts where it's like, wow, okay, this guy just got, $10 million a year. But look at, we got Jack for under 9. That's pretty wild. And it seemed like we were all on board with what he was doing. Behind the scenes, we weren't really looking at the fact that he was building like no move, no trade, no move. Like, I understand that sometimes you have to sweeten the pot, but he was handing that stuff out like it was candy. He's handing it out like, oh, yeah, you want to sign a deal with us? Like, sure. You don't want to go anywhere? Don't worry about it. I ain't going to force you to go anywhere. You're going to be stuck with us forever. Ha, ha, ha. And it bit him in the ass. Because when he was trying to build this team, when there was a lot of free agents that wouldn't come here, and he was able to get a Palat, he was able to get a Dougie Hamilton, because he was probably able to like structure their deals and be like, listen, we're going to give you protection, so that way you can have like, family growth, you could have this, you could have roots, you could have that. It ends up biting you in the ass. So when you think you're doing the right thing, it ends up not being the right thing. The problem now is that something needs to change dramatically. You can't make a trade unless some of these guys say sure. And the last thing that I want them to do right now is to package up, Nemec or Mercer and send them out the door, although I'd like to see a little bit more out of Mercer. Because if you think about it, like if they try to do that, then what are we really going to get in return? And if we're tanking again, if I have to go through another spring of talking about lottery picks and not playoff hockey, And then the team on top of that is going to approach their fan base and say that there's a 4% increase. Which, by the way, if you didn't know that, that's what's happening. This wonderful team of ours. Which, by the way, what are they really giving you as a season ticket holder? I would love the season ticket holders to tell me the perks, the beautiful perks that you get. You get a sign and greet. All right, cool. You know what? I can do that on the red carpet event that they have at the beginning of the year, where they walk around and they sign things. What are they really giving you that you have to pay this much to go to a game? Oh, don't forget they got this, they got that. You got to spend points to get a signed hockey stick. You know what? Suck it through the jeans. I'm so sick of this team. I'm so sick of the ownership of this team. Which, by the way, I've been so quiet about forever. I'm like, oh, come on, Sam. The ownership's not that bad.
I've been complaining since day one.
But if you look at the teams that they own, there's like this weird, like in line kind of thing that goes on. Like the 76ers, they're good, but they're not great. Trust the process, they used to say there.
Yeah.
And then you have the Washington Commanders. They're good, but they're not great. They're just good enough to get your ass in the door.
Yep.
And put you in that seat and buy that ticket.
Jaden
Not
Daniels.
good enough to win. Not good enough to win. If you truly in your heart want to win, the owners would have stepped in and fired Fitzgerald by now.
He's
and
their
we're not
puppet.
the only media. We're not the only media outlet that's calling for Fitzgerald's head too. It's like everywhere you look. You go on Instagram, you go on Twitter, you go on everywhere. It's everywhere. Everybody fire Fitzgerald. Not just fans either. Not just fans. Because if you think it's just the fan base that's saying it, it's not. Yeah, the Commanders did make the
NFC championship game.
Care.
Yeah, you know what? That's a fluke. That's a fluke. They got lucky with Jaden Daniels. He's going to be the next RG3. He'll be out of the league.
No,
in 6
I hope
years.
not. I like that kid. He's a good kid.
Oh, I like the kid too, and I liked RG3, but I'm just being realistic.
Because that's a whole other sore spot. If the Giants don't get John Harbaugh, I'm gonna punch things.
They're not going to get him. They're not going to get him.
I know he's going to go. You know where he's going to go? To Miami. It's like the same. I live the same existence on different planes, right? Like football, hockey. I'm a Yankee fan, which is like all expectations and then no delivery.
Oh, stop!
You're
I'm a Mets fan. Yankee fans don't know what suffering is.
I don't even care about baseball anymore to begin with. To be completely honest with you, like baseball lost me a long time ago. When I'm not going to get into that, but baseball lost me a long time ago.
Yeah.
But this team, like the Devils, though, the Devils right now, like what's really frustrating about what's happening is like yourself. Yeah, we are a media outlet. I'm sorry, my friend John is like texting me on the side. We are a media outlet, right? This is media of sort. It's multimedia.
I feel like we just got promoted. I thought we were a little podcast.
Yeah. Well, I got my credentials. I sat down. Like I said, and I typed. I wish I didn't throw my notes all the way across the room when I had discussed before.
Were they real notes?
I sat down. I took all these notes, man. I'm prepared. We're prepared, right? I'm a moron, but I'm not like a.
Do you want me to cover you so you
moron.
can go get your notes and get back on camera?
No, they're gone. Who
Or
cares?
they're not real notes.
They're real notes.
They're props, right?
Hold on. I'll go get them. I'll go get them.
All right. As Beer Baron is getting his notes, he doesn't have notes. I've never seen him have notes. He's getting his notes right now. I'm going to switch over to the Instagram Live.
All right.
Face Game on Instagram Live says Fitzgerald has broken this team. He must go. Grand Brian, $9 million. Chance says past 3 games they have been outscored 16-2.
So you can see, and it's time stamped. Like each time I wrote a note, there was like a different time. So like This one, Allen makes a save off of 3-on-1. Allen makes another save. So, like, a lot of it's really quick, like, just really quick notes, trying to, like, keep up with the game and type these notes at the same exact time, and then print them out to have them ready for the actual show. So,
Yep.
There you go. There's my proof.
Oh, good.
But yeah,
No,
dude. Yeah, you know, I will tell you one thing though. The one thing that I really, that's not true, Mark. Not all teachers. Not all. I am prepared more than the Devils are. I am prepared to sit down and watch each one of these games. You know what sucks about this too is like how many more games do we have until the Olympic break? Do you know offhand? Maybe somebody out there can throw us that number.
What was the question?
How many stories do we? How many stories? How many whatchamacallit? How many games do we have before the Olympic break?
Games, I don't know, but we've got about 4 more weeks to Olympic break? Not even?
Probably.
This condensed scheduling is painful when you're in a slump like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. You know, and what's and that's the other thing too is like that was the other thing that we were trying to blame, right? We were trying to blame like, well, the condensed schedule. The schedule's condensed for everybody. We actually have in 3 weeks. Thank you, Rob. 13. Stanley says 13 games until the break. Thank you, Eric. So 13 games. Do you want to put an over-under on how many games they're going to lose in that stretch? This, by the way, if 9-0 on 24 shots doesn't wake your ass up, I don't know what does. Like to get absolutely dog walked through UBS Arena by the Islanders. Like it's not like we went to San Jose. I think it would be worse. Macklin Celebrini is just on a tear. That kid is really
he's unreal.
He stepped into superstardom like we wish Jack Hughes would have. Like Macklin Celebrini is like, all right, this dude's real. He is absolutely real. So we have 6 home. This is great. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, guys. We have 6 home and 7 away. So I'm seeing the over-under. We have 9. So Dag says 9 losses. AJ Visco says 11. Always Something says 8.5. I don't know how we're going to lose half a game, but I guess we can. If any team's going to do it, the Devils would figure out a way to lose a half a goddamn game. That's for sure.
Is that called OT
we could have
loss?
Jumped tonight with a win. We could have jumped tonight. We were only 3 points out of a playoff spot. And that's the other thing too. It's like we're right there. You're right there. You can taste it. You're on that first date. You're about to give her a kiss, and all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, my boyfriend's here," and you're like, "And I'm gonna go out to my '89 Honda Excel and drive into a bridge. See you later." That's a great a great analogy.
Yeah.
Of the Devil's season is like going on a prom date and having her leave with somebody else.
You know what's really sad?
You know what I mean? Like.
You know what's really sad? So Brian in the Facebook group says Keefe will be the fall guy, but the real blame for this clown shoot is 100% the fault of bumbling fool. And he calls him Ditz Patrick. That's a new one.
Timu Jack.
And then Joe Meyer Jack says, I think the only player that would instantly save this team would be Brady Tkachuk.
Damn straight. Who said that?
Joe Meyer Jack in the Instagram.
Joe Meyer Jack, dude. Joe Meyer Jack. You know what? I agree with you 1,000%. I've been saying that for years now. Bring me Brady.
That may save Fitzy's job. He's got to leverage his family connections, but I don't know why he can't do it. He can't make it happen.
Let's Islanders are building something. Schaefer is an absolute stud. That is true. Schaefer is that kid he is the real deal. He is the real deal. And what's crazy is like you heard a little bit about him. Like you heard a lot of, like if you're really connected into hockey, like we watch hockey. Like we're diehard Devil fans, but we also like watch the NHL. Like we absorb the entire league and we try to like keep up with things, and that way, you can have like normal conversations unless a person's a Ranger fan, and then you're talking to a delusional idiot. Sorry, Billy Dean. But if you're having a conversation with like somebody else, like a fan from another team, you want to be able to hold your own, right? And like Schaefer was one of those kids that coming out, there was a lot of people that were like high on him, but he did miss a lot of time due to injury, like leading into that draft. So there was a lot of people that were like, well, is this kid going to be able to like carry on to like what he's going to, is he going to be worthy of a number 1 overall pick? And by all means, he proved anybody that thought that was not the right pick wrong, because that kid he's been top notch.
Yeah.
He still has growing to do too. That's the crazy thing too. You look at a kid like that, he's already playing at a great level. This is like Kyle McCarr, right? Like Kyle McCarr was one of those guys, which by the way, the redraft, if you do that in Nico's year, you would take Kyle McCarr 1,000 times over. As much as I love Nico Hischier, you would take Kyle McCarr. Like, I think there's no chance that you take Nico over Kyle McCarr. But when he came out, the kid was like electric, like right away, and like stepped into it and was just like, woof, oh wow, like Niedermeyer-esque, right? Like this kid just gets it. It's fun to see when you see a young kid that's like 18, 19 years old, like step into the NHL. Like you have to understand that's we as fans, like especially people that never played hockey before, like people that are casual fans of the sport, have no idea or no understanding of like how insane that really is. Like to have a kid to like step into the league and be like, yeah, I got this. A defenseman nonetheless. Like forwards, I think is a little bit more of an easier transition. Goaltenders is a whole nother world. Like that's just, you see an 18-year-old goaltender step in and do something crazy, he's got to be like some kind of freak.
I like what Codex 100 says. Legend has it Disney's buying the Devils since we are a Mickey Mouse organization.
Yeah, no, you know what? They would at least the arena experience would be it would be way more interesting than it is right now. It'd be like a lot more fun for kids.
You know, I still have that Mickey Mouse costume.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should break it out at some point. Hopefully, it doesn't get to that.
Can we ask the Sharks for another favor? No, they just did the Blackhawks a favor. So I think the Sharks and the Blackhawks made a trade today, if I'm not mistaken. So, no, the Sharks are actually building something good. Like, a lot of people kind of thought Mike Greer was, like, didn't really know what he was doing when he first got there. And, people were like, why would you get rid of Timo Meier? Why would you do this? Why would you do that? The Sharks they're a young team, and they're building it the right way, too. And that's the thing is there's so much parity in the NHL, and that's what I love about the league in general. Like, yeah, I think I'm like finally coming down from the loss again tonight, where like reality starts to sink in, and you're like, all right, we're not fully out of it. We're only a couple points out of a playoff spot. The league has so much parity, and it feels like the East especially goes through these weird waves, like win lose, and just like this pendulum swings back and forth. Teams are starting to get like a little bit more of a foothold. But the Devils are not so far out of it where it's like, all right, well, we're in tankathon era. You know what I mean? So they need to start stringing something together. Right now, they're in, God, I don't know if I've ever seen a slump like this. 16 goals to 2 in 3 games is something that's like Madden-esque. You know what I mean? That's like playing Shell on easy. It's like you fired up your Xbox and you're like, let me just play 3 games real quick.
It's
my Be a Pro just put up 16 goals.
They have no life. Like they're just getting beaten everywhere. And when they do get a good shot on goal, it's always a good save. So I don't know. I don't even know what to think anymore. I'm still depressed.
I'm sorry, this is actually really funny. Dag just said, still say a bag of Coke and a gear bag would solve our Hamilton issues. That's funny for a bunch of different reasons. That's silly, but it's funny. Sorry. He's talking about Coca-Cola anyway, so you don't fret about that. Oh, listen, Dougie Hamilton, I love the guy to death, and he's done a lot of great for this organization. But I think the time has just run out.
Yeah,
The time's run out. And you're saying, before, like, this team just seems like mentally weak. Like, it's not just physically. Like, Bryce and Dano and Don were saying on the broadcast, like in the early part of the broadcast when the Devils were like showing quote unquote life, like the game before against the Islanders, they're going in the corners, they're getting beat in the corners. That first Barzal goal, they just basically left them unattended and with a wide open net, and there was like no fight. There's no grit. And I know it's so easy to point to the coach and be like, oh, that's a coaching issue. That's a coaching issue. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. And that's why I go back to that whole conspiracy theory of like why the guys don't want to play for each other. Maybe guys are pissed off at the Hughes brothers and they're like, we didn't want your brother here anyways. Like that whole conspiracy theory, the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. You could have a coach show you every X and O, right? You could have every coach show you the right way to play, positioning, power play, PK, how to break out of the zone, how to break into zone, how are you going to dump and chase, going into the corner, cycling the puck, blah, 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 right? You can have a coach sit there and show you everything and how to do it. You can go into practice and you can execute it to perfection. But if I don't want to play for the guy sitting next to me, then I'm not going to play. If I don't believe in the person that's sitting down the bench for me, that I'm going to go out there and I can trust them, that I'm not going to do it. Connor Brown, I think, is a great addition to this team.
I think so.
And I think he's a guy that's starting to speak up more. And I think we need him to speak up more. I think Nico is trying to go about it the right way, but I think Nico has to take off the politically correct gloves and just let him drop. Let him drop. Call out. If you need to call out Jack for turning the puck over, you call out Jack for turning the puck over. If you need to call out Jesper for doing nothing or Timo for doing nothing, Nico himself needs to score. It's not like he's lighting the lamp at a ridiculous rate right now either.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Fundamentally, mentally, I don't know. There's something just so flawed with this team.
If it's that bad, you got to clean house. And your best assets right now are the Hughes brothers to Minnesota to make that dream come true. Nico, Jesper, Timo, if you want to blow it up.
Don't worry, you can't really blow this team up because they all have no move contracts.
Well, I have this thought that if you can't move them, then get somebody that can, meaning make their lives a living hell. But I don't want it to get to that point. Like, that's the way we're thinking, because Fitzgerald did what Dave Gettleman did to the Giants.
Oof.
Salary cap hell and long term. It took him 5 years to kind of get back to normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which sucks. So, I don't know. And the GM is MIA. No public statements. The fans deserve better. You got the team about to get $300 million in tax subsidies from the state of New Jersey for renovations. They're charging 4% extra for, that's the rumor on season tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Preface, that's a rumor. And on top of everything else, it's like they've focused everything except for winning. It's it comes from the top. It comes from the top. And you know what makes you feel so helpless, Beer Baron? Is that there's nothing as fans we can really do about it unless we do something really drastic. Really drastic to send the message. If they're not going to talk to us, basically the ownership group and Fitzgerald, then we got to get louder and louder and louder. It's just a matter of how. Because the bottom line is a lot of season ticket holders, I think they love the torture. Some of them will renew.
I have to say, Servy, I disagree. I think the media pressure is making them worse also. How is the media pressure making them worse when it's Amanda Stein softball serving up questions to them when they're standing in the locker room? No offense, because I respect Amanda Stein and I respect what she does, but at the same time, you have an inside reporter. That's like if I think I would ask you harsher questions than she asked the team. And it's like, the media pressure is nowhere near like Toronto or any of these bigger markets or any of these other teams. I completely disagree. I'm sorry to disagree with you, but that's just,
I will agree but disagree, Beer Baron, because well, first off, you and I both know it's not Amanda Stein. It's upper management having this policy that she's got to go first to be lead off on all these interviews, which is annoying. But with Serve, the media pressure lately, the national media is getting louder and louder and louder. I will agree with Serve on that, because you've got Elliot Friedman that was talking about it. Darren Dreger is talking about it. They're talking all about it in Canada. Mike Rupp is talking about it, talking about the booing the Luke Hughes. He's been very, very vocal about it. The media has been, but in terms of like in-your-face media, you're correct, Beer Baron. There's not many in the locker room. That's those tough questions.
I mean, Novo does a good job of like really pushing the button of like, saying certain things that are going to invoke a little bit more of a response than just like, are you disappointed with the team's play today? Like, disappointed with the team's play, what do you expect anybody to say to that? And no offense, like at this point, I don't want to hear what they have to say. I don't want to hear what the team has to say anymore. If I were the team, I would just look at the media and be like, you know what? We're going to put in the Marshawn Lynch rule. We're just here so we don't get fined. And that's all you have to say. Don't talk. Because your words mean absolutely nothing. Nothing. The empty promises, the we're doing this and the hell you are. We're at the point of this season. Oh, my brain wants to freaking explode. We're at the point in this season where it's put up or shut up. Show me. Show me you want to make a difference. Show me you know how to play. Show me you know what you're doing out there. Oh, and I love it. Like, oh, yeah, you guys know. You don't know puck. You don't know this. You don't know that. You know what? It does. We are the fans, okay? We are the fans. The voice here that you hear right now is the fan base. We're the ones that go to the games. We're the ones that buy the jerseys. We're the ones that buy the hats. We're the ones that buy the tickets. We're the ones that are the ones supporting this team. We're the ones that have been here since 1982. We're the ones that have been here through the hard days of the early 80s. We're the ones that were here in 89 when the team finally won a playoff game. We're the team was in the 90s and starting to build something great. We were here with all 3 championships. We were here with the greatest goaltender that ever lived. We've been here through every single part of this. And this is the most frustrated I've ever been. Granted, I was born in 1982, so I couldn't really, be frustrated when I was 5 years old when the team was horrible. But I can be frustrated now. I was frustrated when Kovalchuk retired early. I was frustrated when Lou Lamoriello was digging this team into cap hell. Remember those days too.
Yeah.
I remember names that were appearing in the roster, and I would say, like in the beginning of the movie Major League, like, who are these freaking guys? That guy there is dead. Cross him off the list then.
We need Joe Boo. That's what this team needs.
No. Joe Boo was not the answer, if you don't remember. He said, F you, Joe Boo. I do it myself. And then he crushed the home run.
Yeah, I remember that.
Come on. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But the whole point of this is like that we've been through every single thing, and I feel like, and maybe it's living within the moment, right? Like you live within the moment, but like as a fan, and I'm pretty sure that I could speak for most fans out there. What's frustrating is like you're being sold a bill of goods, you know, and it's the last since we got the first overall pick with Nico. Even that, you're like, all right, we're still working on it. We got Taylor Hall, guys. We got Taylor Hall. We'll figure it out. We suck again, but don't worry. We got this new kid, Jack Hughes, coming in. All right. And then it's like, all right, but don't worry. We got the 4th overall pick. We got Luke. We got his brother. Now we got 2 of the 3 pieces, which means wink, wink, nod, nod. We're going to get that 3rd piece one day. Well, the hell that happened, huh? And then it's like, oh, we got the 2nd overall pick. We got this kid. He's a defenseman, and he's pretty good. He's one of the best. You'll see. He's been having a pretty good year this year, but was he really worth that pick? When there was a kid named Cooley sitting there. This team had 3 first-round picks one year. Three first-round picks. 3.
And 2 the next year, I believe.
And 2 the next year. And the GM could have taken 2 of those picks, packaged them up nice and pretty, put a little bow on them, and shipped them off to somewhere and got a great, proven asset. We weren't ready for it. And we ended up just flipping 2 of those or 3 of those assets for 2 of those assets, because one of them was Dawson Mercer, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
Yeah.
That was Muhammad Doolin, Dawson Mercer, and Holtz, right? Was that draft? And Alexander Holtz. Oh, Alexander Holtz, the next greatest goal scorer.
He's a sniper.
Devil's record. He's a sniper. Watch out, folks. He's going to snipe it right off the corner. He's going to go bar down top corners all day. And now he's in Vegas, I think, on their 4th line, if he's even on the big club.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get rid of Muhammad Doolin, San Jose.
Chase Stillman. I still can't believe that one.
Chase Stillman. That one's still. The kid's he's grit. He's got grit. You know what else has got grit? The sandpaper that you can go wipe your ass with, because it doesn't make any sense.
Hour number 2, folks.
Hour number two. Not even hour number 2. The Chase Stillman legend. You know, it's just I think I was a big apologist for Fitzgerald for a very long time, and I would sit back and I'd be like, you guys are dumb. Like, look at all the good things he's doing. Look at how he's been doing this. Look at how he's structured this contract. And we talked about this, earlier in this podcast. But I mean, like, you can't keep giving the guy a break. And the fact that he's been so quiet, and I know some people will be like, well, he's a GM. He doesn't need to talk. Okay, yeah, you do. When you have let up 16 goals in 2 games, and the goaltender that you just gave a 2-year extension to was the goaltender that made history and let up 9 goals. That's also on the coach for letting him, like, flounder out there. Like, I don't understand Keefe's point in that, but I think that was Keefe trying to say, like, look at what you did.
I don't think Keefe and Fitzgerald get along.
Going back to what you said, I don't think so either. Going back to what you said about how Keefe was kind of like, like that wise-ass kid that, like, has all those snarky remarks. He leaves him in, and that's not the first time he's left him in. He's left him in. He's given up, like, 8 goals, right?
Yeah.
There's 2 other games. Against the Bruins, didn't he give up 8 goals? Jesus.
Well, yeah, I think it was Colorado. Didn't he give
Colorado 6 or 7 or something?
Well,
like that.
I can't imagine what Markstrom's goals against averages now. Is it above 4 now? I don't know.
It's got to be. It's got to be north of. It's got to be north of 4. He probably has the worst goals against average since, like, in team history.
Yeah.
At this point in team history. Even with.
Go ahead. No, I'm just saying that, I mean, it just every time Keefe talks, he has a smirk on his face, and it's almost like, you give that corporate response, but you're being a wise ass behind it. Just if you read some of the quotes that's coming of it, and like I'm noticing it more and more and more, because I can tell Keefe is not happy about this team.
Oh my God, Seagots just said it's 7.8, or it's
or is that safe?
0.7. Oh, it's save percentage.
Save percentage.
It's gonna be save percentage. Oh my God, if it was goals against, it's 7.8.
Max, what's his goals against average? See if Max is on the YouTube live.
Yeah, my God. Whoa, my God, that is just brutal. But even save percentage is 0.78, 0.780. That's like an e-bug. I think e-bugs have better save percentages than that. That's beer league hockey, man.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Oh, fire Fitzy. Oh, my God.
AJ Visco says
by the way,
there needs to be a Fitzy chant at the Rock.
Yeah, and by the way, I want to address the Luke booing. I am not the biggest fan about Luke getting booed. I understand, and I know we're about to wrap. So, and my computer's at 7%, so it's probably a good idea to wrap now, anyways.
Okay.
I understand that like everybody at the game was frustrated, and I understand that as a fan base, we kind of have this like persona. By the way, it's Tom says it's 3.48 with an 878 save percentage. That doesn't make sense, but 3.48 is not good. Not good. I'm surprised he didn't shoot over 4. But booing Luke Hughes, like, I understand like the frustration. Like he put in 2 goals, guys. If you're a real Devils fan, you have lived through the Damon Severson experience. All right, so let's not pretend that we've never seen this happen before. The first one that happened, like whatever, he goes to clear the puck, and I've seen guys do that 1,000 times. Like that's not the first time I've ever seen a defenseman accidentally do that, where you go to clear the puck and you just kind of like fire it and boom, you put it in your own net. The second one was actually a heads up play by the guy on the Hurricanes, where he played that correctly. And I don't want to blame Allen for not being ready, but when you have a player kind of going across your face, you should be aware in case something like that happens. So the second one, I don't even fully blame Luke for. But when everybody's booing him, it's like, even when our team is horrible and you get frustrated and you boo them, like if that was a 9-0 home game, could you imagine? Could you imagine what that would have been like? Could you actually fathom if you're booing Luke Hughes for those 2 own goals? Could you fathom what it would have been like?
Wow.
I think the place might have gotten burned down.
I think there would have been beer, food out on the ice, probably. If that happened, I mean that's the apocalypse. Had that happened at home, what happened on Long Island, and
he should have circled behind it. Now you're right. Yeah, go ahead.
You know what I mean? Like, and it would have been all national news too, because the media would be on it. But
stuff would have been thrown on the ice, without a doubt.
And if Fitzgerald's at the game, where he parks and where the fans are getting autographs, he would have. It would have been ugly. It would have been really ugly. And I hate to see it to get to that point. I don't really participate in that stuff. But throwing
I wonder
stuff
if it would
in
have
the
been
ice.
better though. I wonder if it would have been actually a better situation for this team if it was at home. That sounds really ridiculous, like a stupid take, but I almost wonder if that was at home, going through that embarrassment at home, and then having to endure whatever insanity happens because of that, if it would have been better. If Fitzgerald would have lasted after that game. If anybody would have lasted after that game. Because if that's home, I guarantee you by the 8th goal, there's 1,000 people left. If that. And they're all Islander fans. Oh, and the Islander fans. Oh, and the Islander fans with their yes. Oh, I would have been throwing up everywhere. Oh, my God. Jesus. Would have been so much worse if that was home. On epic levels. Epic levels. All right, we should wrap. It's time to go.
Yeah, Roman says, I'll be saying fire, Fitzy fires. It's going to be loud. I mean, you've got how many more games? You got 2 more games before they're back home on Wednesday. They've got
yeah.
No, they play Sunday. They play Sunday.
They got to go to Minnesota.
We're gonna watch the Hughes Bowl.
Okay. Can't wait.
Yeah, we'll see. Quinn, Jack, and Luke take their picture with Billy. Their new best friend, their BFF.
Yep.
Ugh.
I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to thank all those tuning in. Going to drop the podcast in about 10 minutes on all of our podcast pages. Thank you, Beer Baron, for filling in for Scotty. Scotty's on assignment
no problem.
tonight. He wanted to be here tonight.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
So, but yeah. I'm trying to find the button. But yeah, it's Devils lose 4-1 tonight to the Penguins. Surprise, surprise. I think we all kind of expected that. And the drama continues, but if they lose the next 2 games, I don't think Fitzy survives. There's no way, because the optics will look so bad if they lose the next 2 games and the Devils play on that Wednesday night at The Rock. All right, well, thank you to everybody. Facebook Live, Instagram Live, Twitch, and YouTube Live. We're going to get out of here. Till next time, let's go Devils.